Yo, what is good? My anime faithful, what is good, yo? So let's talk about Defeat and just how good it was this week. I mean, it was pretty decent last week, and it feels like we're getting this show actually pretty fast. Like it feels like there's no that big of a break in between. Um, but after after seeing all of this weirdness kind of popping off in the grand scheme of Gilgamesh just issuing a fight, and then after issuing the fight, completely flexing on them and being like, well, I don't want you here. Like, can you please leave the vicinity? I don't need you, pretty much. So I am pretty shocked with how he's, handled a lot of these situations in the case of how skilled and ridiculously, calm he is when he's straight up fighting two people when it could have been three. But, him having all of this knowledge and all of this different, uh, information in general makes it so he's not really scared of any of these, situations at hand. I mean, not only did he tell them to fight him, they probably wouldn't go for killing blows, in my opinion, right? Like, they're probably not trying to take the king's life, until maybe when they started seeing that he was taking it extra serious, right? So, I love Gilgamesh's character, man, but this was very, very different from the way that we see him normally handle things and the way that we see him in Fate Zero, where he's all about using chains and using swords and using, anything, spears, all different types of weapons and from his magic. But in this, he is literally only using staffs and like casting magic and using the same staffs that he can cast magic with to also block attacks that are getting too close to him. So it's super weird. It's super weird, and if I'm a guessing man, I would have a feeling that somehow this Gilgamesh is a caster for some reason. Um, and if he is, it's pretty nutty how well he's using something that probably should be far range, and he's using it like it's just a normal close range weapon, like an everyday fighting stick or fighting sticks. Because I caught a picture of them when they're fighting them, and literally he just brings out the staffs and blocks or catches both of them while they're in the mid attack, and after catching them, it makes it a whole lot easier for them to pretty much know where to, where they are with him. Because not only did they coordinate their attack pretty decently without like any actual communication, just natural battle uh, tactics and stuff like that, to then see them in a position where they just can't really win, right? Like they can't do as much as they really thought they probably could, and it's just not working. Um, like I've been saying, Gilgamesh being one of my favorite characters, anytime he's on screen, it feels like time is standing still or something. Like everything kind of just slows down a little bit. And maybe it's because I slow down the video and rewatch stuff. Nah, but I paused it once, I think, just to see what if he had used any swords in any of these attacks he was doing, and he didn't. That was just very one thing that caught my attention, and of something that I've always admired about his character using swords and that just being part of his fighting style or part of his magic and whatever. But then all of a sudden, going from using swords that, could stick in the ground and then stick there for a while and then disappear, he's not even doing that, right? He's just like, well, whatever, that's. Let me just shoot these beams at you and get it over with. Like, I'll just hit you from long range. I don't need to. It feels like he doesn't need the sword. Like, the swords are overkill or something. But I would be pretty happy to see if this is just their way of saying he didn't have that full armory and stuff at first in his mind to use until maybe he became a servant. Maybe when he actually decided to join a holy war, he's like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and, you know, do what I gotta do in the grand scheme of putting forward my everything. And all of those swords, daggers, and spears were all like treasures. They're all like very uh, powerful weapons in general. So instead of using a whole bunch of powerful weapons, he's just using a, some staffs, right? So it's kind of off-putting to know the that big of a difference of his approach. Like, does that now mean everything he did during this fight was just like mocking them? Like he never really used anything that we see them use that was capable of stopping, like Saber in her path and stuff like that. Like, it's stuff like that you got to think about. Like, these are also very powerful servants. Like, Mash is kind of strong, but the Scythe Girl is super strong. She's super strong. So to see her getting treated as if she's not even, that much better than Mash or that much better than, um, just average people that you can summon over time. It's nice to know that they're putting that foot forward to show us, like, this is the difference between certain, servants, and sure, they all could have their masters and whatnot, but this world being the way it is, we have supposed servants, like Gigamesh summoning his own servants, right? But this is a world where maybe Gigamesh has never been a servant, so I think that would make sense in the grand scheme of why he's capable of summoning anything, or why other people are capable of summoning things, is because they're the actual ones living within this time, and they haven't met their demise and become servants yet. Or I'm just way off. Or I'm just way off, and they are just acting out, and that's why humanity as a whole is going to get destroyed because of it, because they're pretty much taking over their own reigns at the game and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm interested in this as a whole because Gigamesh is in it, and not only just because of Gigamesh, but Fate's universe is pretty crazy at times. So it wasn't that shocking to come to this show and see there's a crap ton of stuff that I just don't know what the heck's going on anymore. And mainly that's due to my own fault because I didn't really watch the cutscenes on the app game I started playing yet again, and I've gotten like 2 5 stars now on the grand order, so that's pretty cool. But none of them are the characters within what we've been watching. Your boy working for Gigamesh. If I get Gigamesh, I'm quitting summoning forever and just going to chill. I'm just gonna chill and level up through that game. But regardless of that, it's been a wild, what, 3 episodes already. I do look forward to seeing what is, like, the end game of this whole entire thing. Like, what is the overall focus expect and what is going to be the end all be all for the season, or just some cliffhangers that we might get until we see another season or something like that. I don't know if there's even that much content out there to put with this. I'm guessing they could. All they have to do is continuously use different fate characters in this world that they've already uh, exist in. They just gotta make a reason for them to show up or something like that. So I am down to see their reasoning behind this story growing more and more intense. I hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments down below what you're most looking forward to, or whatever caught your attention the most this week. Um, but yeah, overall, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely talk to you in the next one. So with all that being said, take care and peace.